Hello and welcome. Good day to everybody that's in Toronto. Welcome back to the Blockchain Insider. I'm your host, Vincent. On today's episode, our special guest has been crowned as the winner of Canada's 30 Under 30 software developers, and he has also become the winner of Emerging Technology as leader in the field of AI. He's also the founder of Institute Fellowship, as well as a receiver and alumni, as well as a Blockchain Advisor Council member of COPTIA and ACM. Being the founder of Emerging Technologies under the name Femtelix, the company has achieved great accolades, becoming the leading experts in alumni channel software, being the best in Canada. The company has also become known as AWS Advanced, with years of experience in solutions architecture, cloud engineering, data science, omni-channel full stack development, fintech, and blockchain. They have demonstrated and provided professional counseling services for many large enterprise companies we see today, such as Toronto Stock Exchange, Citro, Thomson Reuters, BMO, Telux, Ixia, and BitDAO. Now, without further ado, please welcome Will Zhang.
Hey.
Hey, Will. How's it going?
Hey, it's good. It's good. 7 out of 10 at least. There's always room for improvement, and it's not off to a bad start. That's why I give it 7 out of 10.
7 out of 10. Nice.
Now,
7 out of 10. Oh,
hopefully by the end of the interview, it's gonna get to 10 out of 10.
A 10 out of 10. I hope so. That's my goal right from the start. I hope to get a 10 out of 10 from you. But
Okay.
just because I did a little short introduction about your good name, I know a lot of people, such as our viewers and also newcomers, may not know about your achievements and your name. Could you elaborate on what I've introduced you as, just to give more insight on you personally?
Yeah, sure. So I graduated from a pretty prestigious engineering program at University of Toronto called Engineering Science. I specialized in electrical and computer engineering. Coming out of university, I worked for a big company, big corps, and I realized that's not really what I wanted. I've always wanted to kind of start my own practice, but I didn't really have a brilliant idea about a particular product. But overall, like an enthusiasm for technology, basically building products, the process of developing solutions, right? So starting things out, I was working by myself, and later kind of slowly built a team. And as you've introduced, I've done some work on my own for like Toronto Stock Exchange, Thomson Reuters, Citco, as more of a technical specialist or a consultant, and also in the process of building out the team, we've helped numerous amount of startup and sometimes even help startup to become enterprise. A successful example would be like something like Axia or and helped several projects to really pass their most difficult time and the product development stage. I would say even I would say probably since the inception, probably helped over 30 small to medium sized businesses, sometimes even help them successful to grow into larger enterprises. Yeah.
Oh, I see. Now, just to kind of elaborate on more of your background history of your experience in the blockchain, could you tell me like what got you interested in the blockchain industry?
Sure. Yeah. It's actually very fascinating because I was introduced to it before I even graduated.
Oh, really?
Yeah. My graduation thesis was on blockchain. It was using Ethereum as a blockchain transaction archive system. So I kind of built a proof of concept and also wrote an entire thesis report on it, right?
Oh, I see.
So coming out of school, I already had some background knowledge about blockchain. At the time, crypto was still kind of at the inception stage. The Web3 library on Ethereum wasn't very mature. There were a lot of bugs, but it was very exciting. And witnessing it going from like just nothing to like completely blow up and taking over like pop culture, right? Like yeah, it's really fascinating and exciting.
Now, Many probably newcomers today don't know about the past of blockchain and all such of the insights of it. How difficult out of 10 would you say it was to get into the blockchain back then to compared to now, like a newcomer to kind of
Yeah,
thrive
back
themselves
then,
in now?
sure. Yeah, back then would probably be around 10 out of 9 out of 10 or 10 out of 10
Oh,
because
really?
yeah, because there's a lot of concepts that are new to and difficult to understand. You'd have to have like
Yeah.
a decent background in computer science, and you really have to spend a lot of time learning the concept. And there's a lot of misinformation and false information on the internet. You really need to weed through those miscellaneous false information. And today, I would probably say about 6, 7 out of 10, because there's more well-defined structure on information about blockchain, how to do development, how to properly build applications, how smart contract is being written. Multiple like successful projects have opened their source code on GitHub, so people can refer to it, and people can really learn and draw inspirations from these projects.
Hmm.
So I think overall the ecosystem has become more mature and
Hmm.
more accepting to people who's willing to learn. But overall, it's still quite challenging because it is new space, and also
Yeah.
it is not very traditional, intuitive to learn. And also you need to have a drive and hunger.
Hmm.
And also it's good to have some fundamental knowledge about computer science to really understand it fully.
Just
So
to fully understand all the basics of it when
on the,
just
on
to
the
jump to start.
technical side,
All the
but
technical sides, okay.
yeah, on the business side, I feel like it's slightly easier just because you can just basically understand it at a high level, and try to um, understand the fundamental concept slightly easier. Yeah.
Now, would you highly recommend newcomers to jump onto YouTube and watch those videos? Because now there's just a variety of blockchain tutorials on YouTube that you can find easily. Would you recommend those, or would you recommend another source?
I would say YouTube is a good source, but not every YouTube videos are created equal. Like you need to
Yeah.
find the right video, right?
Mm,
You make
yeah.
sure that the video you watch can really help you. And if you don't understand it, feel free to research more material. Reading the white paper is always a good idea. Finding the project's root and looking at the white paper, sometimes yellow paper, to
Hmm.
see what their project is based out of, and what the foundation of their um, technical concepts are.
Yeah.
And outside of that, if you're looking to learn, I say Udemy is also a good source. There's a lot of,
Udemy?
so yeah, Udemy.
Oh, okay.
Little good crypto courses created by content creator that are on there. The courses are generally not expensive. You can probably spend your launch money and pick a decent course and just learn, right? So
Yeah.
yeah, so there's a vast amount of information out there in the public. You just really need to navigate yourself and grasp these knowledge, right? And have the drive.
Mm.
Yeah.
Awesome, awesome. Now, another question, just to kind of lead way through your experience. You gained so much experience and knowledge in I would say a short time period compared to a lot of individuals. How much stress did you gain, and how much excitement did it give you when you finally got all the experience you've gotten?
Oh geez, this is it comes in hand in hand. I
Oh,
this,
really?
there's a reason why it's a stereotype that people in tech space tend to lose hair.
Yeah.
It's all coming from the stress, right? So
Yeah.
to this day, the stress is still part of the daily life. You still have to deal with production issues, still have to deal with like writing the source code and testing it. And
Correct.
sometimes when you don't directly work on it, it's even more stressful because you don't know. Because right now I'm in a stage where there are developers who's working on it, who's working under me, and this project manager is in place, but you feel the nerve, right? You feel like you're
Yeah.
on the edge a lot. You don't know what's going to happen if something were to go wrong. Everything is out there in public on smart contract, and it's just you feel like you're exposed a lot, and you really need to take time to make sure that nothing could go wrong. But even then, like still sometimes things could go wrong, right?
Yeah.
So there's definitely a lot of stress, which makes it rewarding when everything works out perfectly. You know, things are smooth sail, and you see the product getting launched. Those are all like great signals, right? So
Yeah.
I think the excitement comes with stress, and there's definitely a lot of both.
Yeah. So it's basically like a treadmill at high speed. You're on it, you're running, but if you think about it, you can keep on running, but then if you take a step and just stop, you might fall and get hurt. So it's like you either get one or the other kind of thing, would you say?
Well, yeah, I think it's not really like because if you're running on a treadmill, you only get like stress and tiredness, right?
Yeah.
So it's kind of like eating ice cream on treadmill, right? As you are
Oh,
as you're running, you get more scoops, and it tastes really good, but at the same time, you feel really tired.
oh yeah.
You feel
That's
really
a good
stressed.
analogy. That's a good
Yeah,
analogy. Yeah.
yeah.
But just to jump further, now with all that experience you've gained, what is your insight and opinion on the future of the blockchain? And as in a year or even 10 years from now, what do you think of the blockchain industry in that time frame?
I am not a financial advisor, so disclaimer, right? So I please take my advice with a grain of salt. I think it comes down to two aspects. From a technical aspect, I believe in the technology is rapidly evolving. Web3 is going to be the future of technology because people are going through a social revolution where you realize now the workforce don't just care about compensation, they also care about work environment. That's
Correct.
because the sense of individualism, since the popularized social media and social network, social platform, has gotten much more popular. The concept of everyone wants to be unique and focus on developing that individual character is now more than ever, right? So
Correct.
that's why companies enterprises are advocating for like work-life balance, work culture, having like an identity attached to what their mission statement, so and this individualism is fully is displayed at full-fledged on Web3 on blockchain because everything is decentralized. Almost everything that people do on a platform for a project, there's incentive and rewards for your contribution, your achievement, and that kind of concept I think really resonant with the Zoomers, the people of the next generation. So I think it's only going to go up from this point from a technical standpoint. Now, from a financial standpoint, there's just too much uncertainty, too many actors. If you look at cryptocurrency as an asset, what does it really? How do you really classify and generalize it? Right? You would probably consider like how would you generalize it? I'll give you a few options. Is this stock? Is it similar to stock? Is it similar to real estate asset? Is it similar to derivative or alternative asset? Which one would you classify that as?
I'd say stocks.
Well, no, because it has no like incorporation, right? Because it doesn't.
Yeah.
It's not really like a business that's gone public, right? You can't really see any. It's not regulated, so it's not. I wouldn't say it's exactly like stock, and it's not really like commodity either. Well, actually, it's kind of like commodity in the sense I would probably consider it as like a alternative investment. It's more like hedge fund where there's not a lot of historical data. You can't really refer to a lot of like pattern that you can see from the history. It's high risk, high reward, very volatile, and not very liquid in the sense that the cryptocurrency itself is liquid. But if you go into one of the altcoins, it becomes less liquid, and hard to predict, and those are all characteristics of kind of like the alternative assets, alternative investment vehicles. So it's high risk, high reward. I don't recommend, and once again, I'm not a certified financial advisor, right? So listen to my advice with a grain of salt. If you are a young professional individual, I don't recommend you put your life savings in there. Like going into it with the mindset where you may lose the money, but if you don't care about that money, you just want to diversify your portfolio or your asset, that's what I would recommend. Right.
Kind of like think of it as a donation to like charity. You're not 100% sure you're gonna ever get that back.
Well, I mean, like your donation to charity, you're giving away to
Correct.
buy the emotional satisfaction. So you're guaranteed to get some return, right?
Yeah.
But this is, you're not guaranteed with a investment success. I would say it's very similar to where you would allocate, like you would probably allocate a part of your asset, a big chunk of your asset to like to homes or to real estate or stock or whatever. And you would, if a friend of yours is starting his startup, you want to show support, right? You probably want to give him like a part of your money. If you're a millionaire, you probably give him like 10,000 or 20,000. Maybe it'll blow up. And worst case scenario, you know that this is your friend, and it's cool to say, oh, I invested in my friend's company, just as a fun thing to say when you're having conversations with other friends, right? It's a cool thing to say, right?
Yeah.
So have that kind of mentality for cryptocurrency. So like,
I see.
Yeah. Do you invest? Have you, like, think about it in a party, right? Like, have you invested in this cryptocurrency stuff? Like, I dabble a little bit, right? I bought a few NFTs, and I own some Ethereum and Bitcoin and some Matic, some of the altcoins, right?
Yeah.
And they'd be like, oh, that's cool. That's cool. Like that way you're getting the emotional satisfaction. You're not missing out, but you're also not gambling your life savings away.
Yeah, you're just kind of giving a little bit and knowing that you're not, don't think of it coming back. Just think of it as, it's something you can talk about.
And that's a lot of that's the mentality of a lot of the crypto billionaires, right? They didn't go into Bitcoin by wanting to bet in their entire life saving, minus like CZ, the founder of Binance, but he's a little bit of a edge case. But a lot of the crypto millionaires or billionaires are people who just, when Bitcoin was like 20 cents, they put in a lot of the money in. Well, not a lot of their life saving, maybe like a couple $1,000. Then when the Bitcoin blew up, but they never really cared about how much money they could make out of Bitcoin.
Yeah,
they just thought it was cool. Like this is.
They were like, oh, I want to join. I just want to join the trend. Put in a few $1,000s, and then it blew up, and that's why it blew up.
Yeah, exactly. I think that's the winner mentality when it comes down to cryptocurrency investment.
So would you say that's what happened with the meme coins and similar to also NFTs?
Exactly. Right? I say now meme coin, like with Dogecoin, there's some external actors, like for instance Elon Musk, right? He obviously did some number on the altcoin. Yeah, that's why when it crashed, there's a lot of questions directed towards him. But like I'd rather not get into criticizing Elon Musk. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. It's a very controversial conversation, but yeah. I think it has a lot to do with pop culture movements. And it definitely has that factor that, like I was talking about, where a meme becomes popular and becomes fun. Just people like to hold on to it, not looking to get returns, but it's just funny to say I have a few Dogecoins.
So I guess that's because a lot of our viewers and a lot of individuals now today, during the time where Luna crashed, everybody was very confused why it crashed. Just your personal grain of salt opinion. Why do you think it crashed that way?
So from what I've read, there's some like not manipulation, but like the a lot of the larger financial institutions are trying to making it volatile, and that create a lot of FUD, like fear, uncertainty, and stuff, right?
Yeah.
So that ultimately resulted in it dropping drastically, and the stable coin that they were having, what is it, the USD, I forgot the last letter, not USDT, but it made it not like very volatile because people wanted to withdraw that, right? So
yeah.
That ultimately caused the whole thing to collapse. But this is the negative side of cryptocurrency, is that it's not being regulated. So like any hedge fund can just like dump in money to try to like short it or pump money into it, right? They can easily manipulate the market, and there's going to be no punishment because it's not regulated by the SEC, right? So it's what's making it so sexy is also what's making it so dangerous, right?
It's just the fear is the thrill that people
it's a double-edged sword, right? Like because of the uncertainty, there's a lot of opportunity, a lot of volatility, a lot of ups and downs, and some lucky people made a lot of money out of that, and it sometimes even changed people's life, right? But because of that, there's also a lot of people who lose a lot of money because they bought in at the wrong time. I know many people who lost a large chunk of their savings, some even their life saving, because of the crash of Luna. So so
it's just like go into the blockchain and crypto on your free will and what you believe that you will achieve at the end. And just like you said, go in not thinking you'll make tons of money, but more don't think of that money you're gonna get it back right away, kind of thing, or even ever gonna get it back.
Think about it as the money that you're willing to lose, right?
Okay.
But if I lose that kind of money, I'm not gonna wake up tomorrow and feeling sad and feeling like a loser, right? I'm gonna wake up and feel like, oh, that sucks, but you know what? I got better things to do in life. I got, my own business, my own career I need to work on, something like that, right? Like it's not something that I care. Like I said, 1%, 2% of your net worth, it probably won't hurt, right? Like it's gonna be like a stock portfolio, right? Like you see it go up and down a few percent, you probably don't care, right? It's the same thing.
Now I've gotten these questions from viewers that asked, and I'm gonna ask it to you.
Sure.
So this one viewer asked, if you were to go into blockchain, do you consider it as similar to gambling, and is it the better way of gambling?
Are you talking about investment, or are you talking about
investment?
Tech?
I believe this viewer is talking about investment. Yes.
So there's obviously multiple investment strategies in the crypto space. For instance, one example would be the traditional VC way of doing this, where they diversify their portfolio, do a lot of research, and they actually raise funds. So it's like an economy of scale. You have a large amount of money putting into the cryptocurrency portfolio, and they do thorough research like a VC fund. And people who follow that strategy tend to do really well because overall, over an extended period of time, cryptocurrency it definitely has a lot of potential and great outlook. At least I think so, right? And then these people are the people who put in the hours, do thorough research, have a strong understanding about the entire space, who's reliable, who's not, who does their homework, and they do it with a large amount of money, and they do it in a way where it's diversified and it's not like they're betting on one thing, right? So that's one strategy that worked. The other strategy is market making, for instance, but people who do that are sometimes like quant specialists, and they're great at writing algorithm, and they're looking for arbitrage in a space, right? And those are usually like math genius or people who's in the financial space who are very sophisticated and have been in the traditional finance for a very long time, and they just see cryptocurrency, like crypto space, is slowly becoming more mature, and they're seeing pattern behaviors in the traditional finance space that can be translated to the crypto space, and there's a lot of money to be made. So these are the quant guys. And the third are the people who are like, if you are a rational investor, you purchase some of the cryptocurrency, like the major cryptocurrency like Bitcoin, Ethereum, and Matic, right? When it's in the bear market, like for now, for example, is like where you're in bear market, so it's probably not a bad time to get in. Once again, I am not a certified financial advisor. Please follow my advice with a grain of salt, right? To make do your own research, make your own investment decisions, right? But like they're getting in the bear market, they don't put in a lot of their chunk of their assets in there, right? And they just buy it with the mindset that, oh, this is to diversify my portfolio, diversify my assets, right? And they're not putting all their eggs in one basket. And the last type are the gamblers, which is someone who dump a large chunk of their assets and pray that the project will go up, and those people usually end up losing a lot of money and feeling very bad. Some of them even do something very extreme like committing suicide, which is totally not recommended. Please don't do that, right?
Yeah.
That's those are kind of and then there's the fifth actor, which is the people who actually create project and start project and back projects. Those people are usually people either with a lot of resource and a lot of funding, or people who are like tech geniuses, right? So like people who
they have a team.
Yeah, like us, kind of, but not really. Maybe I don't know. What am I disclosing here? So yeah, the fifth actors are usually people who kind of actively participating in the space and creating the ecosystem. They're not just like investing or buying cryptocurrency. They're creating current cryptocurrencies, if you will, or trying to create value for the space. So these are the five actors. I would just say, please don't be the fourth one, right? Don't be the gamblers. Don't bet your life saving on something until like you've done your store research and you realize this is something that you passionately believe in, and you also are just in the space and want to leverage yourself. Like people who do that and succeed are the people who really have a thorough understanding. Like I'm talking like rigorous understanding. Like for instance, the founder of Binance, right? Zhao Changpeng, right? CZ, he bet his like life saving. He sold his house and purchased like put everything on the line, right? But he had a thorough understanding about the space, and he also, worked in the space for a very long time, full time, right? So he had his belief, he had his passion, and he knew this was his mission, and in the end, he succeeded, right? We've seen founders like that who put everything on the line into what they believe in, what they do, and they achieve a tremendous amount of success. But you had to understand what associated with that is a tremendous amount of risk, right? You have to So if they actively participate in the space, and they it's associated, aligned with what they do, their vision, their beliefs, that's why they do it. But I don't recommend someone who is just new to the space to do that, right?
Correct. It's kind of like he knew what he was doing. He didn't completely not know what he was doing when he took out all that money.
Oh no, to him it was his purpose.
It was his purpose.
How much is your passion worth to you? It's priceless.
It's priceless. Yeah.
If you feel like it's something that you believe in, like this is my life's purpose, this is my mission, I've got to do this, or else my life would be meaningless. How much is this mission worth to you? Right? It's priceless. So like to him at the moment, the external things are not important. Like my life saving, the house that I live in is not important compared to this one thing that I truly believe in.
He loved it. That was his passion, right? And he wanted to kind of, even if he was reaching rock bottom, he was like, this is my passion, I want to succeed. It's similar to, you would say, a lot of people now always say restaurants are extremely hard to get in. They're a high risk but high rewarding businesses to get into. But if you have the passion of your restaurant, it has the chance of growing, just like what he
Yeah,
had
yeah,
in the vision
exactly.
of that
If
growing.
you have the knowledge, if you run like operating in restaurants for like dozens of years, and right now
Yeah.
you're hitting a bad like economic like recession,
Hmm.
and you have the passion, you have the beliefs, and you have the knowledge and the skills. That's also very incredibly important, right? Like and you fight through this difficult time, right? And you
Yeah.
end up succeeding because in a bear market, in a economic recession, they tend to weed out some of the companies who are weaker, whether it's like the
Correct.
founders who don't have character or like they have bad finances, right? So it's the same thing here. Like CZ just had a lot of character in him. He has the knowledge, he has the skill, and he also has the belief and the passion. So it
Mm.
really is like a force of nature that, and there's many factors at play here. But I don't recommend everyone to try to replicate that success,
Correct. Because
because it's really
a lot of
reproducible.
people, they see what he did, and they try to replicate it just like he
Yeah,
did, but sometimes it doesn't always go the same way he did it.
yeah.
It's
They
all
end
about
up
timing too.
most of the time they end up losing their life savings.
Yeah.
So that's not good. Be a rational and reasonable investor.
Remember, guys, grain of salt. Listen to all this with a grain of
Drink
salt.
with a
Don't,
grain of salt, right? Like
yeah.
who knows? Maybe like you invest in crypto, you become the next billionaire. I like please don't hold me against it, right? So.
Yeah, and also just a lot of our viewers, and some may not know him, such as myself, is there any future projects that you are currently working on or soon to start?
Sure, yeah, we're building like step in, right?
Yes.
Yeah, we're building a project that is kind of like step in, but kind of like with a little tweak, with
Oh.
like for instance, emphasizing on the video component, right? It's more of like a video
Oh.
platform, and we build like games,
Yeah.
um, where it's still under development stage, but we're the prime
Hmm.
technical team for the project called Scarlet Greenmore, which is like
Hmm.
a mobile game on blockchain. Um,
Oh.
yeah, and it's backed by Polygon Studio, so it's really nice. Um, so these are some of the exciting projects, and we build like NFT project, marketplace projects, things that are frontier of the space that are really exciting. Yeah.
Mm. Now, do you have like, are you able to kind of let us know by what time these projects would come out or release roughly, or
Uh,
is it still
I think
secretive?
one of them is about to be released like a month or so.
Oh, okay.
So stay tuned. And the other one, the game, because right now, we're trying to also build the infrastructure
Yeah.
for GameFi in general. So that one is probably going to take slightly longer time, and also the bear market really it plays a big factor. So
Yeah.
we're a little bit more cautious on that.
Hmm.
So yeah, that's what I say. Yeah.
Oh. Now, unfortunately, we're reaching the end of the interview, but I have a question I ask all my guests that we come onto the show of blockchain.
Sure.
If you were to kind of explain blockchain in only 5 words, what would it be and why?
Oh Jesus. Yeah, that completely caught me off guard. Let me think. So 5 words, right?
Yeah, 5 words.
Number one is like these words have to be like it can be any words
It
or.
could be any words. It could be any words. Yeah, it's
So
just what blockchain means to you.
first of all is decentralization, because
Decentralization.
it has two levels of meaning. The first meaning is from a technical standpoint, you don't have a centralized node. We've seen so blockchain is a class of distributed system, right?
Yeah.
Where there's multiple servers serving the same system. But the classical distributed system is centralized, where there's a master node controlling a bunch of worker nodes. You've seen that in like distributed, like in cloud computing a lot, right? But what's fascinating about blockchain is there's a bunch of master node. Everyone's their own master, and they're working together with a consensus mechanism that allow them to make decisions together cohesively. So that's really fascinating on the technical side. On the business side, you have everyone participating in the ecosystem having the same share or right, and it's just a illustration of a democracy. You know, it's very fascinating in that sense. Nothing is as transparent as democratic as this type of design or architecture. Right? So second, I would say is volatility, because that's
a new one. That's a new one. I've never heard any of our guests choose that one, but I would love to hear your explanation on why you chose that.
Yeah, I mean, if you think about the traditional like finance bull bear market cycle, it's usually like 7-8 years, but in blockchain space, like it's like 2-3 years, right? So I mean, that's a sign of volatility. So it creates a lot of like opportunities, and also there's a lot of risk. So but overall, that's what makes it exciting, right? So volatility, I would say, is definitely a word I would use to describe blockchain space, especially on the cryptocurrency side, right? A third is it is the future, right? So I think in the future, the more and more use cases will be developed, and the ecosystem is going to just grow larger and larger, and I think it will become a integrated part of our daily life, as opposed to just die down, right? As more cycles go through, people are investors, project teams, and just the engineers will become more rational about what it is and realize its value. There won't be as much hype, as much like infatuation, but more so like a rationalized way of looking at it. So
I see.
That's when it will become like a future. Fourth word, I would say it's charismatic. And I think this unique concept, it really draws people in. Some of the top talents are from the tech space, are working in the Web3 and blockchain space, and trying to shape the future of finance, and using decentralization to build like legitimate use case that benefits society, right? And that's the fourth word, right? We're down to the fifth.
That was the fourth. We're down to the fifth.
Okay, well, a fifth, I would say liquidity, right?
Liquidity, okay.
Even though I said in some of the altcoin situation, there's not a lot of like use case, therefore it's illiquid. But overall, if you think about it, it's probably one of the most liquid assets. You can easily send, like I'm talking about like Bitcoin or Ethereum, like that, some of the currencies that you can be perceived as a currency and standalone currency.
They're more of the, you could say, more balanced crypto you get into, right?
Yeah, the crypto with large volume, and they have large liquidity. You can easily sell them for fiat on an exchange, but like it really you can really literally send it to any one of your friends within like minutes or seconds. And that's much more, you can like think about that, like you can send 1 Bitcoin to your friend who's on the other side of the world with just a few button clicks, right? If you go into banks, you'd have to do a wire transfer or some type of transfer, and it would take like probably business days to clear, right?
Like 3 to 4 business days, and also takes a fee. and all that.
Yeah, and also like if you like nothing creates such level of convenience and when it comes down to payment settlement. So I think in that sense it is very liquid.
Thank you so much. Well, those were very good answers of your own opinion to what the blockchain cryptocurrency means to you. Now, do you have any last words before we end the show tonight? Do you have anything for our viewers that you would like to tell them? Maybe tips or hints on newcomers that want to get into the crypto industry?
Yeah. So I would say like I can only probably talk about it on the tech and finance side because that's the closest thing that I am related to. I would say on the tech side, be passionate, be curious, and just really try to learn, be hungry. Don't worry about the like being able to make money fast, but just try to simmer down and try to learn the technology, right? I think overall, over an extended period of time, it really pays off.
Yeah.
Right. And from the finance side, I feel like you just have to be rational, right? Don't be greedy and don't be too fearful, and be instead just be rational, right? Moderation and and control. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Now, for all our viewers, please like and subscribe, and also leave your comments down below and share this video if you would like more. Thank you again, Will, for joining us to the show. I hope I made your day a 10 out of 10.
Yeah, like at least 9.5.
Nine.
Come on,
Okay, I'll take that.
You always have to leave some room for potential.
Yeah, you gotta leave some room. Right. Yeah, I'll take 9.5. I'll take 9.5. Thank you so much, Will.
Great, man. Thank you so much, man.
No problem.
Had a great
Bye
time.
now.
Yeah, have a good day. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.